morning and welcome to TDN Africa Media. This is Breakfast with TDN. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. How was your weekend, Claudia?
Good morning, first of all. My weekend went on great. Sadly, I lost an aunt, so the weekend was all about laying her to rest and other family engagements. But other than that, it was quite peaceful. How about yours?
Mine is good. How are you holding up after the funeral?
Well, thank God. I feel like the greater part of it has been done. But obviously, there is a vacancy within the family, and then you have loved ones who are still down by the obvious fact of death. But other than that, we thank God for how far we've come. So
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I have a good weekend. I did went out, rest, headaches, and all of those things. So I hope you guys have an amazing weekend as well. The Breakfast Show is a current affairs program that comes up every Mondays to Fridays, 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. live in all of our social media platforms at TDN Africa Media. So literally, I know you will be watching us, if not Facebook, on YouTube.
Okay, well, going forward in today's edition, we'll be bringing you news on the extension period of the redomination of the Leone currency, and of course, news on the student killing his school teacher in Freetown, and the death of the baby at the Bondo Society Bush in Waterloo. These and much more are lined up in today's edition of the Breakfast Show. I am Joy, Claudia Zoya.
Sylvia, John.
Let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
The Bank of Sierra Leone has extended its transition period from the old Leone to the new Leones to December 31st of this year. The Bank of Sierra Leone has announced that the transition period wherein all Leones shall continue to be a legal tender in Sierra Leone has been extended to the 31st December 2023. The bank made this announcement in a public notice issued on Friday, 10th March 2023. It was a legal thing and a press thing to do all these regulations, as the bank hereafter referred to that they informed the public that the transition period wherein the money will be changed has been pushed because, as we all know, it was set to be on the 1st of March. In the absence of any extension, all Leones shall cease to be a legal tender in Sierra Leone on 1st January 2024. Well, we have really seen an outburst of that when the new Leones was in place. It was like never something, it was hard to get used to. We really saw many people getting duped. We saw many people didn't know what they were doing, paid an extra cash There were a lot of victims on that.
Well, I feel like I think the only issue when it came to that would be between the 2000 old
And the
leons
20.
and the 20 new
Yes.
leons. So that because of the same color, a lot of people had that when they pay for any good stuff or food stuff or whatever they do, they tend to mistake when they pay up. But I feel like the circulation of the old leons back in the market was within the December period. That is because it's almost looked like people were running out of cash because um, everything you do, as the bank started, um, the, I don't know how redistributing the old leons back
Yeah.
into the market, even though there was a period to which it was slated for 2022. I think it was in September or or one of the months within September or December. They say coming towards that month, all the old leons we should have been gotten rid of.
Yeah.
But then again, in December of 2022, the old leons circulated and people were using it in line together with the new leons. Up till 2023, we're in March right now.
It's going to
And
be
then,
hard.
and it's only now that the bank is stating that there's an extension period. The extension period started way last year because there was already a date for it to cease operation, and then we saw.
But then after that, they did push it again to the 1st of March. And now
so,
they're pushing it to
so
like
now March
December.
10th, we saw that till December, and if everything goes on well, we're expecting that 1st January 2024, we cease to see to see the old deals in the market. So.
But really, I must say it's going to be difficult for people. I think people are already used to it because they spend the money every day, they see it, they use it. But it's going to be difficult. That I can say. Because so I have done many shows where, because I'm doing this quiz show, and when I ask people who is under 20 million, they said Mama Shop. So people are really getting like used to the money and the vibe of the money. So we really do hope that, because I think this is something that started to the banks. If you go there today, an old leon will be given to you instead of the new leon. So I really hope this period go out smoothly.
Well, since it has been extended to December, so we believe towards the December, it will cease to operate really the old leons because we're in March already. Pretty much have probably 9 months
Yes.
to the date that it's dated. So I believe there's a huge amount of time for the bank to seize the old leons and also to produce the new leons in the right quantity for it to be circulated across the country before December of 2023. So I feel like they have a much needed time in their hands to fix that, so the old leons go back to where it should be, destroyed, destroyed and all of that. So yes, I feel like there's time for that, and then over time people have gotten used to the new leons now.
Yes.
We've since last year to now, people have been used to how it looks, how it feels, because when it just came into the market, a lot of people are complaining that it was a bit light and all of that. But people are now used to, it's now part of them. And so, and I believe that the 20 leons, which was their struggle, I believe that majority of Sierra Leoneans can identify it now.
Yes.
And know to check and cross-check before paying up, rather than them going into debt or losing their money carelessly. So I feel like, other than that, that is what we have for you with regards to the extension of the Leon currency
Yes.
transition. And so we'll be going over to a different news as at now, and that has to do with a student from Providence International High
Oh,
School,
yes.
who went to the teacher's house and then killed the teacher. So we'll bring that on your screen at the moment, and that actually is the teacher, Mr. Johnson, Gillis Johnson. He happened to be the teacher at Providence International High School, and he was sadly robbed of his life by his own students. Now, we are not quite certain the actual story behind.
Yes, because there's a lot of stories.
There's a lot, and as being credible, we're very cautious about what we say. But so far, the reason, or wherever he and his student had whatever issue, is we still haven't had the correct story so far, other than the fact that some news going out says the teacher punished the student, and so the student didn't take it to heart quite well, and so he decided to vent his anger
By stabbing him.
well. That I won't say is a stab. It looks like even slitting his throat probably, because if it's a stab, sorry, you might do it across the body and all of that. But that one, it was quite intentional, and you can see that his throat was slit opened, and then there were there were pens used to kill him. Those pictures of the atrocity is across all social media platforms, but we can't bring that to you. We can't bring it onto your screen for ethics reasons, But
Yes.
it's disheartening to see a 60-year-old man on the floor, dead by a student, his throat open, and then obviously there are big pens within. It's quite graphic, me even explaining it. But that was what went down, and then some news stories states that he punished the student at school, and the student wasn't happy with it. Another stated that that the student had drug issues within the school.
No, but
with
seriously.
with a group of others, and it was only the teacher, Mr. Gillis Johnson, who sadly passed away, who had evidences of that. And so the students connived with, or rather stated to a few of his colleagues in class that he would get rid of the teacher. And so that was how it went down at the end of the day. Different stories, different reasons. At the end of the day, obviously, the teacher died. And obviously, we know that the boy in question committed the crime because he turned himself in at the Lee Street police station right after he killed Mr. Johnson.
When stories like this are being told, you tend to wonder, going back and thinking about going to school, you cannot even visit a teacher in his or her house. Now you're going there with the intention to kill for someone who has taught you. I don't know what he can possibly do to you for you to like kill him, because that is a law that shouldn't happen in Sierra Leone. So going to kill, there are other ways you should have vent your anger. Well, like I said, the stories are not straight.
It's not straight, but whatever the reason is,
killing is not the solution.
The fact that it was premeditated, being that he had all the ample time to rethink his decision, and then stay away. But he said it to a group of people about his intention. And then he went home. He then went to the teacher's house and carried out his plan. Even to get into the house, a lot of things was going through his mind. One of which could be for him to actually refrain from doing such. So the fact that he had all the time to process his mind before eventually carrying out his plan. And he did not adhere to not doing it, that shows that it was premeditated. He don't plan on it, and he said, no matter what, this is what I'm going to do, and he did so. So if it was within the school premises, you say, okay, it was a reflex of his
Yes,
emotion,
he's
like
just angry.
Yes, and then maybe he hits the teacher and stuff like that. Can be, if he's prosecuted by the state or whatever, they could argue that out. It was a reflex. It was anger. It wasn't planned. It just happened along the. But the fact that he went home to the teacher, and all that time that it took, it tells you that he thought about the plan on how he was going to execute it, and the state at which the diseased body was tells you that there were thoughts to it, and there were processes to it. If it was just a minor mistake he did, he would have backed down.
Yeah.
But with the fact that there were other blisters within his throat and then pens, it tells you that he meticulously murdered.
It's really sad. A generation these days, I don't really know where to go with that. I don't really know what to say about things like that.
Generation, sadly. So it's
And
like
this is what people do say. Our generation now is like this. Thinking of the generation, like the fifth generation backwards, how are they going to be? And unfortunately, we have to be like the leaders, the examples for generations yet to come. I do not know where you guys get all this intention or all this. I don't really know how you guys get it, but this is something that is, let me say, done and dusted. But as the story unravels, we will come and bring it to you. As the truth comes to the open.
I just feel like we could just use this platform. At the end of the day, no matter the reason, no matter the story, that justice is served. If he's found guilty, obviously, we're expected that in fact he should be prosecuted.
Yes. Yes.
And a jail term or what have you, a form of punishment should be given to him, because we've seen situations wherein people die or people are killed in this country, and as quote unquote they say they mass the case, and we don't want that, because we believe that this man is someone's father, and at the same time the student in question also is someone's son, is someone's friend, but at the same time he should be taken off the streets to avoid the repetition of such acts. So in order to keep others safe, it's important for him to be locked up. As much as it's a punishment, it's also safety mechanism, so he won't continue doing such. We already know that his mind is quite destructive for him to even try to kill someone. But at the end of the day, we would say nothing is new under the sun.
Nothing.
Even our parents' generation, there are people who are lawless, and there are people who were pretty much an example as the boy in question, who also did quite a few atrocities and murders and all of that. I believe they also faced their punishment and all of that. But I don't want to say this is normal to kill someone.
It's not.
But in every generation or in every community, you always have some people who takes their anger to a different level altogether. They don't. The Bible says you shouldn't sleep on your anger. The sun shouldn't go down on your anger. But there are people. I don't know.
No, but that's the thing. When you look at this generation also, it's a lot of drugs. That's why this rumor about drugs. When you look at it, it could be a thing.
Because now the drugs that is available now, it's not written on your face that you're taking
exactly.
drugs. So it's dangerous.
And he looks like quite a gentleman to be doing things like that.
That's the thing, because when I looked at his face, I'm like, this guy is so handsome.
So innocent.
He had his life ahead of him. He had his bright future. He looks so quiet on that photo. And for you to attach that photo to a murderer, it's hard to deal with. It's hard to deal with. But then again, because of the drugs, you can't tell who is who.
Yes. And this is...
have to be careful.
People do not listen when they advise them, because this is a simple advice. This is something that could have been prevented. Learn to like talk to people. Do not communicate with violence. It's never the key. It's never something that will get solved. Learn to like just listen. Sometimes all you have to do is to listen to elderly person or like listen to some advice and stay off drugs. That is not good for you. It will never be any good for you. So we want to send our condolences and sympathy to the family of Mr. Johnson. He was an amazing teacher, taught in several schools, including the Sierra Leone Grammar School.
And as well, since Edward stated before, he moved into Guinea as a refugee during the war. He came back, and obviously, so he has been in the teaching profession for quite a long time. And it's important for people to honor people for their hard work. But the kind of honor he received,
that is not an honor. That is a disgrace.
We just hope that justice is served, and then obviously we're able to dig in and get the right information, and we'll bring it to you as subsequent updates with regards to the case. So let's take a short break. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. This is TDN Africa Media.
Welcome back, and if you're just if you're just joining us, this is TDN Africa Media Breakfast Show that comes up every Mondays to Fridays, 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. live in all of our social media platforms. So I know you're watching us either on Facebook or on YouTube. A 2-year-old was found found dead at a Waterloo Bondo bush. This is an unfortunate story. This is something that really gets me into it. But then she was found dead in the Bondo bush at Crossing Village in Waterloo, Western Rural District. The discovery was made by police, which goes by the name David Sori, who intercepted a secret possession of a bunch of powers belonging to the Bondo Society. Waterloo police said that the Soris were about to secretly bury the child when the police Sori intercepted them. Police said that the ringleaders of the secret society, including the village headman Alusain Fofana, are in their custody assisting with investigations. The arrest was made days after another operation was launched by the Waterloo Police Division, where they arrested a bunch of Poro Society members at Wahali Village, Tombu. The men were arrested after one of the inducted fled the camp after being tortured. The man reported the matter to the police, who later made the burst. Locals in the district have said that the two incidents have left them worried. This is sad. Of course, it will leave you worried. Of course, why not? It's like a sad story to talk about, and it's a 2-year-old girl, because I understand that when it comes to the Bondo Secret Society, they wait until the girls are of certain age, and they like tend to put them there, not necessarily willingly, but then at some certain age, as your tradition demands or whatever, you tend to go there. And over the years, we have seen some organizations come in, try to stop things like this for this reason. And this is, because this is the only way you can put it. There was a whole immunization organization that came and say, this is nothing like humanity, or like, it is not humanly to like go and do that. It's not even something that is hospitalized. It's not, the tools that are being used are not sterilized. They're not something that, it is really sad. And that is a baby. She's literally a baby, a 2-year-old.
Well, obviously the laws in Sierra Leone only permits for someone to be initiated into the society, a female in general, only once they are 18 and can make that decision on their own to want to join in. And so any other person below 18 is pretty much, it's unlawful to have them within the society. And so to think that a 2-year-old, now we're not sure if the 2-year-old, wow.
Yes. And I think,
because first of all, these are the society in general is quite traditional, in a sense that it is tradition to a lot of tribes in Sierra Leone, even across West Africa.
yes.
It's traditional. It's by a tribe or a set of people. This is what they believe and all of that. But within the Bondo institution, obviously we know that it also involves training girls how to end up becoming women, in terms of how to take care of themselves, how to eventually, when they get married, what should be done. So it's kind of an informal training unit at the same time, because of the history we did in school and all that tells us that this is what constitutes the society. And so for a 2-year-old, before anything, what would a 2-year-old learn from the whole system?
Because this is something that I really like wanted to say, because I've been to places that you can clearly see that none of the girls are even 18, because they have this period that they, like, I don't know if it's a hash or something, they just cover them in like this white powder, and they just tie some towels, and they like dance or work in the streets. none of them are 18. So let's just say it's their tradition. It's like tradition is tradition. But at some point, that is wickedness. I don't know how tradition can cover that. A 2-year-old. Because let's be honest, we were taught in school to like, okay, so they teach you how to be a wife, they teach you how to this, but there are people who have never joined the Bondo society and they are good wives, they're good parents. Because anything, it starts in the home. If you want to be good, like, you have to be taught, you have to be brought up, your character has to be made at home for you to, they'll prepare you for the future, you know? So let's just say that is a traditional thing. Because, like you said, there's nothing possibly that you can teach a 2-year-old about marriage. Like, that baby could hardly talk at 2. Taking care, yes, at 2, you cannot do that. The parent is doing that for you. So in as much as the secret society are being held, I hope the parents too are being held responsible. Because this is some different kind of pain, or some, I don't even know what their intention were, because at this point I'm thinking, is it really the initiation process that the baby was going through, or is it something else?
Well, that's the thing, we can't be sure. And even after she's found dead by a police officer, you know, we don't know the state of her physical appearance, and all to state that what actually killed her, you know. Because a lot, and like you say, it's a secret society, so it's secret. If you're not part of it, you can't tell.
No, but this is
what goes on in there, you know.
This is the thing about bad things. When it goes bad, it comes out.
Well, obviously.
And this is the example of that. And when this was posted on Facebook, lots of people give their comments. There was one that I read particularly. The woman was like, oh, I remember when it was me. It was so painful. It was so hard. I just wanted to die at that point. So that is something that really gets some people to like commit suicide. You got to think about it. They said it's painful. You know, this is something that it has been preached. It has been taught like several times that you can even do it at the hospital. Mainly to protect yourself, because some of these things, in as much as it is a tradition, you can still call the people who can do it. Like, they go to the hospital, they do it for you safely, and then you go back to whatever training.
But in general, if we're even you being in hospital, you know, like in general, if now we're digressing into the FGM, female genital mutilation. That is the part you're talking about. For you to go to the hospital, it's safe to be at the hospital and all that. Well, actually, human rights organizations, international partners, you know, they frown at FGM because, as I earlier stated, it's inhuman to do some of these things. It's torture, you know. So there are institutions against that part of the whole conversation. So we shouldn't even try to even talk about it, even in the safest way, hospital
yes,
or not.
Yes.
We shouldn't even talk about, because there are institutions that are fighting against FGM, you know.
No, but when you look at stories like this, then you will say this is the reason why they're fighting against it.
We don't. Are we sure that the child died because of genital mutilation, or because of probably the conditions within the society? Because obviously we know that a 2-year-old became, was she eating right, was she being taken care of, was the mother present, and all of that. So a whole lot of things could sum out to her death, but we haven't been given what exactly. That is why I said the state of her physical, to be sure, to us to pinpoint what killed her.
Yes.
But the fact that she already died in
the secret society bush.
That is alone a question on its own. Before talking about now examining her, you know, and then obviously bringing a parents in for questioning why was she there. Was a mother part of the people who are organizing?
Yeah, because
we need to be sure as well.
2-year-old,
we need to be sure as well. Maybe the mother particularly was also part of those who are
people,
organizing
yes.
the how would you put it now? The society norms and all of that. We don't know if the parent, because if not, then she should be even if
she's not.
Yes, even
because
if,
leaving your child to go
yes.
that kind of place now, you should be
she's not in the right frame of mind to make certain decisions for herself, and obviously she's not in a position to talk about her own rights, you know, and her own feelings up until the time of her death. So the parents should be held accountable, and organizers or traditionalists also who were in charge and part of also should be questioned, you know, with regards to death, sadly.
But it is not a normal issue, and it's a human, it's a child that died. So we want to send our sympathies to all those who care. All those who care. Because if you're the mother, you let your child go to that place. I don't know if I should say you care. I don't know what your intentions were, but that is that. So the UN receives the Japanese delegation. So they made this joint preview, and it was a great initiative, they say. The United Nations Population Fund, which is the UNFPA, they hosted a team from the Embassy of Japan in Ghana to review the progress of a joint initiative on building resilience for sexual and reproductive health service and improving infection prevention and control at targeted health facilities in Sierra Leone. The initiative is funded by the government of Japan and implemented by UNFPA and the Ministry of Health Sanitation. The visits include a team of the First Secretary for Development Cooperation and the coordinator for Economic Cooperation Embassy in Japan. They welcome the deputy, the UNFPA's work in partnership with the government of Japan, but to also further strengthen the existing collaboration on invention. That is really what we're talking about. We're talking about things that will move the African society forward, things that will like just speed things up, as we also see that the ECSL held a meeting in Kailao with some delegates people about the upcoming elections. The meeting was a 3-day program. It was said to be about learning, where we all know that as elections come closer, there are lots of things that need to be done, that need to be learned, that need to be like said. So the 3 days training session for the electoral coordinators and IT focal persons on the voter registration card, issuing procedure at the Kainlaon District Hall. The training is part of the Commission's preparations to fulfill their strategy plans ahead of the 24 June general elections in Sierra Leone. The training was rolled out by Commissioner Hist Marian Sia Nyama and other team. It is also recorded that facilitators have been trained in Pidgin on the same issue, and the training was cut across the entire country. So the ECSL is in making sure that there is a national understanding, drive for all their workers, and the successful outcome of the distribution of voters' ID card across the country. We have seen ECSL done many things. Like they even held a meeting here in Sierra Leone. There was a point where the UN delegates came to Sierra Leone. They hosted them, have this entire meeting. We did talk about them firstly when they were like recruiting, or should I say hiring or training employees that should be part of the election, like the people that you see on this election polls. we're seeing them do all of that, and now they're on the issue on distributing the voter's ID card. There was a point where I myself, even my colleague here, we went for the national ID card due to some reasons. Well, we're back here. But now the voter's ID card is being issued out, and it was reported, or like it was stated in a press that it was going to be issued out on the 17th of this month, right?
Yeah, I was just going through to confirm the time, but you can go ahead. And
so it was like, it is like, let me say, okay, we get that because it's March, it's literally just few months to elections. So having the voters registration card right now is...
We have like 2 months in between.
Yes.
To the elections.
Some people might say it's like late to what we used to have it, like to get it earlier. But what can I say?
But what's safety? If you're looking at safety, I mean, don't get me wrong. Most times people tend to be careless, so there's always possibilities that even if they give you 1 week to the elections, people will still lose it, and then government will have to start making rooms.
That's people is me. That's
so
people is me.
Government will now try to make other goals to ensure that these people get to be attended to get IDs for the election. So yes, as much as it's some people are saying, why are they giving us now? I'll tell you at the same time, I'm skeptical with it being too early, in fact.
But then this is the thing.
People can, your house, I don't wish that for your house can burn, your post can be stolen. A lot of things can happen, and then you have to go back to start writing complaints or writing letters to NCRA or whoever to state that for all these obvious reasons, I need another ID, to
No, but I think this is the concerns of people. Yes, they're obviously either too excited to see there. Like me, I'm not excited. I remember when I took that picture, I wasn't at my best, so I'm not really excited to get the voters' ID card. But then the concerns of people, and this is something that happened to a family of mine on the last election. It was like their ID card wasn't printed. There's some information that was missing. They had to give her like a paper that they said, go and laminate it, and then you can use this to vote. And she wasn't able to vote. They said, no, she cannot use that. And so this is the thing that they should tend to like do this earlier. So if something like this happened, there's still time that you can like go out and then say, please do this and this because I really want to vote. I really want to do this. And there are some people that their registration card just won't appear. No kidding, they just won't appear. There were lots of people complaining, hey, I don't get me voter's card. They say they not see them. So there are all these things.
Those are the normal things that happen. Missing information.
Yes.
The information will be there, but not your face. Your face will be there, but with a different name.
And there's a lot of that issue the last time. There's a lot of that issue the last time. So you tend to see where like people are going with the whole thing. It is because they do not want a repetition of that. But then people are excited. I myself, I am excited, but thinking of the picture is like,
I remember my friend I saw it on my close friend's status on WhatsApp. She was like, some of us, we don't care about elections, we don't care about voting, we just need the ID card to receive our Western Union as usual.
Oh, yeah.
And I laughed about it because some people really are not as we are, who would want to vote and all of that. People
no, some people, yes.
Just need the ID card to add to their collection. And so my friend was stating that, yeah, that's all I need. I just need the ID card to use it for other personal use that is not connected to the purpose of the ID. But hey, that just tells you the diversity of people and their interest points, I don't know, maybe I might fall into the category because I've been using my last voter's ID card for the longest time to do other things because obviously national ID was not in place at the time. So the voters so
Yeah.
fast is
And
fine.
this is one reason why many people are not going to like take the national ID card, because there's the voter's ID card.
Yes, what's
And
the use?
I'm going to take the voter's ID card for free. And you think I'm going to pay for a national ID card? That would just be the opinions of some people.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to say myself, but
But if we know, we will know.
we know.
We know. We know. So yeah, but thinking about it now, I was waiting for the voters' ID myself
Yes.
rather than the national. But you know, we are patriotic citizens, so along the line, we might rethink whether would
And the thing with the
get a
national ID card, they are just fluctuating the price. At one point, I went there, it was 140. At another point, it's 145. Imagine if I go there now, would it be 150?
It will be 200 probably by the time we make up our minds, you know.
Yeah, because honestly, many people are just waiting for the voter's ID card. And there was this whole program. Like I said, you people really need to check out what the people say in our page, because there are some people that talk on the matter of the ID card, and they said, well, I'm not getting nothing for do with ID card owner for take money no more. So people are really going to work for the voter's ID card. And this is the thing, because when I went to the office, I complained that the money is too much. And they're like, when you compare it to dollar, it's like $7. That is what you get. And I'm like, but we do not use dollars. And they're like, it's so cheap, it's just $7. But then we do not use dollars. So I really don't know what is going on there, but I guess you guys can solve that. But really, we cannot wait for the voter's ID card. Speaking of dollars, Sierra Leone, when it comes to project, there's a lot of dollars issue. Because Guma Valley launches a $125 million project to connect mountain communities. Gets the point, because there are lots of these communities up the hills and stuff complaining waters cannot reach here. And there were incidents that also, if you go and watch our program, waiting the people say, people were fetching water on the streets, cutting pipes to like fetch water, and they're like, we cannot get water up here, that's why we're coming and we're doing this to the pipes. The government should do better. Those are not my words. Just go and look back in our program. We did that. People were actually going to different places, to even dumps to like get water. So now the Goma Valley has opened this project, and they spoke to the AZ newspaper, the Game Changer, the newspaper that always makes me laugh when I read it, that they will start this project to like carry waters all across the country. I know it's not strange to you, because for the longest of time, or back then, we like had this whole living situation. We were living together, and you see people in the streets, they like fetch water in the streets. And when I live at Godrich as well, it was always like that. People's taps were on the streets, on people's pipe. And some people will actually go with a lot of confidence, go cut off your pipe, fetch water, fix it again. I'm laughing, but my dad used to get really, really mad on this situation, because you would have waited, because there are some areas, even to where I live now, it's like one day in, one day out.
Yeah, obviously.
So you would wait for water to come, and then when it comes, you don't get the water because someone already cut the pipe. So he used to like be very mad. It's funny now, it wasn't back then.
Well, even myself, I would say I've also faced that at my parents' house, really. There was a time we had to call Guma. Guma came, and they came with all their plans in terms of which pipe leads to where, and which pipe leads to which compound. at the end of the day, there were so many illegal connections on the road, and they had to dig and cut off all these people. That was when we started getting water in the right, the right temperature. I don't know how they call it. It's not temperature, but the force. Yes.
Yes.
The right force, and then realized that it was all the illegal connection, because now there's cutting of your pipe is one, or people who bring fake people who are maybe Kuma, they come at night, they also connect their own pipe within your own and all, do a lot of connections and all. And then you are at your house, and then you are taking 5 hours to get one rubber and all, because it's really dripping when it should be running, the water should flow. And at the end of the when they came, after they disconnected, that was when all the other houses started getting the right amount of water. And then people were like, so now this thing, and so this is just mainland. I would say mainland in a sense. This is just a flat surface, Freetown. Before you say now, most times water flows down and not up, So now these hills and all, people build houses across, and then there was no plan in the get-go to cater for these people, because those areas were not for habitation, But now people have cut and bought across the hills, and so people are living now right across the hills or right up the hills, and then there's no infrastructure in place, water related now, road related, and people are crawling down, and they're parking their cars on the road and then climbing up into the hills to get to their houses. So I feel like as Leon, we've failed ourselves. Those in charge, that there's a ministry, or there are people in charge of urban planning, there are people in charge of the water resource and all of that. So once the city is growing, they should have set these priority areas in check, which they are already laid down. How would I put it now? Laid down infrastructures that will help these people. But now we've seen that the city is congested, the hills as well. A lot of houses have been built on the hills, and there's no water. And so now we are signing over, imagine the billions of dollars into a project, and then we don't really know when that will kickstart, how effective it will be.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing.
When which road? Usai then go pass pipe, I'm just saying, even the already existing pipes and plants, people have built on top of these things, some people have destroyed it, So now, I don't know how this is going to work. But we believe it's visible, being that already it's stated.
Yes.
So I feel like they would have done their visibility studies and all of that.
It's a step.
Let's just wait and see. But obviously, we'll be paying debts for the next 25 years until you probably have your grandchildren.
About Sierra Leone is always 25 years. So this is
25 years, and at that time, probably I would have given birth. Obviously, I would have gotten married. Probably Lano talker now. Because I shouldn't be having grandchildren in the next 25 years. Obviously, no, my child will be on that age. It will be teenage pregnancy.
Yes. And what a plan you have there. Okay.
I'm just saying because of how people, how Sierra Leone normally does all the deals, 25 years.
Yes,
so by the time
it's 25 years.
It's my turn to now experience some of these facilities. You're already aging. If you add 25 years to your age, I don't know, but
and then they will be calling you grandma.
Can you imagine? with white hair all around, then the wrinkles. So I think I will still be beautiful.
Yeah, I won't have wrinkles at all.
My sister is aiming high.
I won't have wrinkles. I will be the most. I don't even know, but I'll be a good grandma, a dripping grandma.
10.
But it's really a nice thing that the intention that Goma Valley is making, it's a nice intention. And we really do hope they go on with it, because when someone cuts your pipe or connects to your pipe, it's not only slowing your time to do other things, but you're paying for them. You're having a high rate of money paying Goma Valley, and you are not even the one enjoying it. Because mostly you that have it, you are the one that is being deprived. Because there is no person that is going to like cut your pipe and not lead it to him first. So the water will always have force on their side other than yours. And one person told me, an elderly person told me a long time ago when we were having water issues, to Sierra Leone, there are two things that needs to be sorted out. If they sort out, then it is a great step on making this country great. One is water and electricity. Exactly.
That's the
exactly. And when the person said that, I thought of it, and I'm like, yeah.
The necessities. And funny enough, if you are with electricity, I won't say, aside safety, maybe you can do without. Because now, those who are high earning people can do solar, you know, solar can benefit a house, so you can individually settle your electricity. But water,
no. But even with solar, it's a lot of money. Imagine this is a country.
I earning citizens.
Yeah,
some people, even with having normal ETSA, they have a backup plan which is their solar. Even for us, we paid for something less. We still have, when there's no light, we have solar that at least gives us light, even though it doesn't charge necessary things, So maybe that's we can manage. But water, they say water is life, So it's always difficult to manhandle, to maneuver when there's no water. I don't know if you understand.
Yes,
you have to drink, you have to wash, you have to even if you dig wells
without water.
Yes.
I don't know how the city will be.
They come to supply you. It's difficult. So most times at the end of the day, those who are higher earners are the ones who benefit. But you are relatively just existing in a country, it's difficult for you to do these personal plans to benefit you.
And the thing is,
so
there's not a lot of high earners. So you guys really have to provide for the average and the masses, okay? Well, we have come to the end of today's edition of The Breakfast Show. Do not forget that we have many other programs. There's Today with Amadou. We have Salon Talk with Aminata and Hamadou. We have our sports show with Ibrahim. We have our education program coming up with Claudia Redut-Sawyer. We have the upcoming health show.
Entertainment, obviously.
There is the entertainment sports on by Franklin Williams. There is the quiz show with me. So there's these different programs to get you occupied and to get you focused on it. And I will say this over and over again. Stay safe, stay peaceful, no violence as the elections come closer. You want to live till that time. Avoid things that should be avoided. I would just say that. And be peaceful on the day of the election.
Well, as she rightly mentioned, we're approaching elections, and so it's important to stay safe and stay peaceful. And so that is the word we want to leave you with. This has been an educative and informative edition of The Breakfast Show. Mind you, we come your way every Mondays to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And so we're happy you joined us today. And remember that we are live on all our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube. So don't forget to be live with us and experience the beautiful mornings with us. So until we come your way tomorrow, TDN Africa Media, I am Joy Claudia Redut-Sawyer signing out.
I am Sylvia John. Have a blessed week.